What's up, YouTube? My name is Brian, and I am the Chaotic Dragon. And today's video I'm going to show you Lightsworn defeating the up-and-coming Zoodiacs. So, let's get into it, shall we? Open up the replay, because you guys will want to see this. This is for all the fans of Lightsworn out there, such as myself. You guys are about to watch me romple stomp this up-and-coming Zoodiacs. So here we go. As you can see, I started off with a Max C, and he was deciding whether he wanted to start special summoning, which he does decide to take the Max C challenge, which was probably a good idea for him at the time. I mean, to be honest with you, I think it was a good idea. I think he did make the right decision, ultimately. I mean, the only problem was that how could he know that I was willing to, he just didn't know what I was going to bring to the table, All he saw was Max C and decided, well, I'm just going to build an unstoppable board. So it really was the right answer. I mean, how could he possibly know what I was playing, Anyway, he special summons for the billionth time, and I'm just sitting here with a huge hand of cards. Like, it's getting ridiculous. But, he chose to take the Max C challenge. And he, I think, makes about 2 more special summons and quits, I believe. Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure exactly. Yes. Alright, yep. And this is the last one he makes. And then I pop him back here. I'm like, none of that. I take my last 500, and he decides to, I think, end it here. Now, before we continue, notice he does have a really good board. He also could make this monster very large. He's got a lot of materials on it, and he's got Vipers in his hands, so I knew from the get-go, attacking this monster was not going to be a strategy worth going after. I'm going to get my face wrecked in and lose all my life points. So immediately, I'm thinking about how can I gotta make this Drancia pop something, because he only gets to do it one time. So, continue. I try, first things first, I get rid of the back row, and then after that, I try everything in my power to get this guy to just pop it off. See, I summon the Thrasher, I activate the field spell, I do the field spell as a frag, he still doesn't pop. At this point, now it's too late. I've got Antiluminescent Knight, I won't care what he does. Also, guys, Antiluminescent Knight is not a bad Xyz monster to play in your decks because Drancia does target, and you can make the Drancia pop something else. Or, as you'll see me later do, pop itself. And I just sit there and laugh like a villain. I did make a little misplay here. I didn't really want to summon Horus. What I really wanted to do was just blow up his Drancia, but the monster I was going to summon was not banished, so I made the secondary play, which turned out to be a good play. He finally decided, oh, I better pop something. At this point, I blow up all the monsters because I've got a Fairy Tale Snow in the grave, and I've pretty much got everything I'll need. And then, as you'll see here, he quits. Because I'm going to take out his life points. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm going to make Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss next, which is actually also a walking solemn. And I had a live Fairy Tale Snow in the grave, which I can't show you because the replay ended. Hold on. I'll just reload the whole replay again because it won't take that long. Anyway, so what I'm going to do once we get to that point again is I'm going to use the Fairy Tale Snow, bring it back, and then that's going to be basically game. If we can pause it here, we can look at this guy's deck. And he has chosen to play pretty much the standard version. The one that says, I think this is like basically pure Zoodiacs. Its whole purpose is to just whip out this giant board of Xyz monsters and draw my life points down to nothing with Galaxy Wave. And I don't think I see anything in here that isn't just a standard play. I'll just go to let this play while I do this. He's playing pretty much, I think, oh, this is where he goes different. He goes with the triple Drancia. Now, this is a future build. Clearly, he's just expanding on the current one, but because obviously, like these two cards here, Hammer King and Lyca are not here yet, but, this is a deck, and He plays the Coach King version and I guess the Tiger King, which I'm not surprised by, Castell. He probably should have played two Gusto Emeralds, but if I had to guess, this guy's probably basing off what he can afford or what he already has, hence why he's only got one Gusto Emerald in here. If I was a betting man, that's my guess. Because you'll have to spend your money on the Zoodiacs first, and there's not going to be any money left over for a random Gusto Emerald. Unless you just want to spend the money, in which case you hate money, sir. Or ma'am. You're a money hater. You should just throw that money at me. Don't even bother. Let's see here. As soon as we get back to where we were, I'll show you. He's just, these replays take forever, and there's not a next button. You know what I mean? Or is there? Nope. Damn it. I thought I'd try something. Anyway. So that's the whole concept of the deck. I'm just kind of, wrecking face here. Or what I would think was about to. I think the other answer would have been to not special summon, but I don't think that would have ended in his victory either, because I had Ties of the Brethren, so I got my plus, engine going. So it was, and, I'm pretty sure I started off with a breakthrough skill. But, and just proceed to make all sorts of stuff. And don't worry, guys. Towards the end of the video, I'll show you guys the deck profile again. I showed it in my last video, but I'll go ahead and show it in this one. You guys didn't get to see Zoodiacs get their butt kicked, so I decided to go ahead and show you that this deck does work against them. And since Zoodiacs are the most powerful meta deck, this is the best answer I could come up with for my personal archetype, which is Lightsworn. If you have Minerva, I recommend it. If you don't, which is the most likely, and I fucked up again. See, this is why we need a button that continues. Oh, well, whatever. Anyway, that was the whole thing. Here, let's get to the, let's just go show you the deck again one more time, just in case nobody hasn't seen it. This is the deck I used. We are main decking 2 cards to fight the Zoodiacs. Max C and Unspeakable Grimoire, or Forbidden Apocrypha, as it's called here in the States. This card, Ghost Ogre's just attack, but the rest of it is, this deck's very vital. This is my real-life deck, by the way, guys. I also noted that Zoodiacs do get their butt handed to them by board wipes. So I am playing Utopia Prime and Scarlight, because these are 2 cards that can easily clear the board. Now, I'm not going for Utopia Prime unless I absolutely have to, mind you, but it is a board wipe on technicality. And it is a potential comeback card, assuming you can make your opponent waste their Drancia first. Also, if I had actually gotten Forbidden Apocrypha, it would have been definitely a good answer for, you know what I mean? If I just couldn't take his life points, this is a really good card to try. Especially because it's a great budget option for players who cannot afford Dimensional Barrier, which most of us can't. I'm not willing to spend $70. Nothing in this deck is really all that expensive. The most expensive cards are the Trishula, the Scarlight, and I want to say the Bujente here. But the rest of these cards, on the other hand, are all just super rares. And I'm only playing them because of the certain, the cards that I'm playing. For example, how should I say this? I'm only playing, Horus here because there's a chance I could make it with the Dragodias Empowered Warrior here and get a free monster. Also, as you saw, that's why I'm playing Empowerment and Dragodias for 2 reasons. Because as spell cards, as a spell card, Dragodias is a non-targeting half my opponent's monster's attack permanently, which is awesome. And also, if he dies by battle or card effect, he's a floater, so he is double utility there, and a light warrior. And also with Empowerment, you have a card that's basically going to boost the bulk of our offensive force, which comes from our warriors, our dragons, and our spellcasters. Which actually, because of Empowerment, is the reason I would have won that game in the whole first place, because I really shouldn't win if I only have Fairy Tail Snow and Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss to bring to the fighting table. However, thanks to giving them both a extra 300 boost, it puts up the last 600 needed to take out their life points. I mean, I wasn't completely screwed as you saw either, because in my hand I had Breakthrough Skill, I had Rise to Full Heights, and I probably was going to get to summon back the Red Resonator and boost my life points up again by 3,500, so even if that hadn't been game, the only thing my opponent would have been hitting is that Red Resonator. And the second that second Drancia came out, I would have just been, nope, Breakthrough Skill. You don't get to blow up anything and watch my opponent get frustrated. I certainly wouldn't Max C again, mind you. That was in my hand. I certainly hell wouldn't do that again. Just letting you guys know that one for a fact, because, yeah, I would lose. I would deck out. I only had like 15 cards at the end of that turn. Anyway, though, you can still ignore the sideboard here. This is undetermined. Like, the way I look at it is this part is always player preference for sideboards. Always do whatever you feel is the best or what you have available to you. You know, based on your funds and what cards you own, that's what you should base your sideboard on. Because there's nothing like, for example, this deck, I mean, I could throw a Kaiju engine in here, but I'm not willing to pay for it. Just the truth. Anyway, this is Brian, and that was Lightsworn beating the crap out of Zoodiacs. So, yeah, and I'm out. I'm going to get out of here. Don't go. Oh, guys, before I forget, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I read all my comments. So any helpful critique is wanted. Okay? I'm out here to make the best videos I possibly can. So, thank you, and I'm sorry.